Well, hello and welcome to Binge Watch, the podcast where we take a look at the hottest new TV and film releases on streaming television platforms. I'm Hannah Fernando, the editor-in-chief of Woman and Woman at Home magazine.
And I'm Ian McEwan, writer on TV and Streaming Week. Did you see the lovely World Cup issue last week? TV Times and What's on TV magazines. And today we're looking at the new releases that will be available on Friday the 12th of June 2026, including American Doc Martin reboot Best Medicine on Now TV, and Nicola Walker and Jermaine Clement in frenemy comedy Alice and Steve on Disney+.
And we'll also be checking out a new documentary series about Brexit, oh goodness me, on BBC iPlayer, and the return of feel-good US drama Sweet Magnolias on Netflix. But first, Ian, what is in the news?
Well, good news, because, another Katie Price series called Nothing to Hide will drop on Now TV next month. Thank goodness. What else is in the news, Hannah?
I wonder if her husband has nothing to hide. Anyway, stranger things have happened. You see what I did there? Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown will be back for a third outing as the well-connected sleuth Enola Holmes on Netflix.
Super dupes. Okay, well, we're going to crack right on with it, starting on Sky One and Now TV, with a new drama called Best Medicine. And here's a clip.
Does blood freak you out? But you're a doctor.
Came here hoping I could still practice medicine, but I'm not cut out to be a town doctor.
This place won't let you hide, and that's a good thing.
I love it here. I love knowing my neighbors.
Admit it. You're starting to like it here.
Release me, please.
Well, Doc Martin, starring national treasure Martin Clunes, was a big hit, wasn't it? About a grumpy doctor. Well, the Americans have decided to do a reboot of that series. This is a 13-parter, and it stars Josh Charles, who you may remember from, I thought I recognised him, Dead Poets Society. He was one of the kids in that all those years ago. He was also in The Good Wife. Yes, so he plays Dr. Martin Best. Okay. So who is moving, he's a heart surgeon. He's moving from Boston to a little fishing village in New England. Yes, to be the local doctor. So I've never watched Doc Martin.
What? Oh, hang on. Hang on a minute. You and I thought we were friends.
And so when I heard this was a reboot, I thought, well, I don't think it'd be very good. But I really enjoyed episode 1. He's great in it. He's such a grumpy, miserable character, and he arrives in this little town, which is kind of, it's full of quite eccentric characters who try and befriend him, but he's just very standoffish and irritable. I particularly like his receptionist, Elaine, who just spends her whole time on her phone, like broadcasting on social media. And, he says to her, "You're inefficient, you're annoying, you're fired." And I thought, yeah, good call. So there are some things that are kind of similar to the original. So there's a little doggy, and we both like those, don't they? That kind of adopts him, or he adopts. And there's also a potential romance with a local teacher who she was about to get married to the local sheriff, but the wedding was called off at the last moment. So yeah, I thought this was fun. Some great characters. I just really like the really grouchy Doc, who, he finds everyone intensely annoying. He doesn't want to integrate at all. He's got an aunt who lives there, who fishes for lobster, and so he used to go there, I think, when he was a kid. So he does know the place. But yes, why has he moved there? That's the mystery, isn't it? So good stuff. I was surprised. I didn't think I'd like it, but I did. And also, stop press. Martin Clunes is going to make a guest appearance. Yeah, happy days. So, I'm assuming, though one never should assume, that you enjoyed this, Hannah.
Well. Where do we start with this? Do you know what? I'm a huge fan of Doc Martin. I absolutely love it. It's one of those things I could just binge watch and over and over and over again. I absolutely love it. Every character is perfect and brilliant, and it feels like that sort of comfy, warm hug that you need on a Sunday when you're feeling a bit, down. I just love it. So I was a bit reticent about this because I thought, you know what? I know they're saying that they want to put their own stamp on it's American, they need to Americanise parts of it. Essentially, this is absolutely, as you say, completely based on this, isn't it? So therefore, there's a real thread that runs through it, and I think there lies the problem a bit, actually. And I think maybe, I might be wrong, but I think maybe if you haven't watched it, like you say, surprisingly that you haven't, that's why you like this as much. And I think that you will try and draw comparisons constantly throughout this if you are somebody who really enjoys Doc Martin, because they are all based on the same characters. This grumpy doctor, the relationships he has around with the people who are, like, as you say, inefficient or tricky or difficult, or he's just got absolutely no bedside manner, as we know from Doc Martin over here. And I suppose that they tackle slightly different ailments. As they say, it's slightly more Americanized in lots of different ways. But ultimately, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's fine where it was. We didn't really need this. I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure who would watch this. Are you watching this in the absence of Doc Martin being available anymore? Or are you watching it because you're new to it like you are? I don't know. I'm unsure of the audience. I didn't hate it, but I just didn't love it. It just didn't feel authentic in the way that I've come to love the original.
Okay, well, let's move across to Disney Plus next I'd say this is a comedy drama series called Alice and Steve. And here's a clip.
I slept with Steve.
That's really funny.
I know this must hurt, Mum. I see that. But I want to keep seeing him.
Hi, Al.
I hope you fall out of your window and get pierced in the heart by your railing, and that no one comes to your funeral.
Which one of these is sorry I had sex with your daughter?
Yes, Alice and Steve. This is a new comedy on Disney Plus, as you say. And it sort of recounts a lovely, long-term, platonic now friendship between two 50-something-year-old people. So what you see is this friendship, which is just really brilliant. They kind of they love each other in a platonic way. They have fun together. They're kind of I don't know. They're the cornerstone of each other's lives and have been for a very, very long time. But this six-parter, in the words of my children, gives me a little bit of the ick, because what happens then is that her daughter ends up sleeping with her best mate after a bit of a night out drinking, and Steve comes home. He's has a heart-to-heart with Alice's daughter. She's only 26, Izzy, and they're just chatting. She's broken up with her boyfriend. She's a really forward character. She's not entirely likeable, I wouldn't say, but she's quite a forward character. And they sleep together, and they realise they have feelings for each other. Now, she sort of is quite sort of linear, this girl. She just tells her mum everything. She goes, yeah, I've slept with Steve. We know what's the problem. And they want to kind of keep it on as a bit of a relationship. It's not the age gap that's the problem as such. To me, there doesn't seem any chemistry between these two at all. She's all over him. He seems incredibly sort of, I don't know, grateful, happy, can't quite believe his luck. I don't know, all of those things wrapped into one, that she's got all her attention on him. But there doesn't seem to be any true or real chemistry, I don't think, that sort of jumps out from the screen between these two. And I think that's slightly problematic. And I think that's why a lot of the time all you think, lots of sort of sex scenes, how good it is, it feels like they're very much kind of pushing on that, because actually there just isn't quite the chemistry between the two characters in the way that you perhaps would want. But you of course, his best friend begins to really hate, or she does really hate him, and it becomes really nasty. So you see lots of different layers here, lots of different elements. I'm not sure it's something that everybody would relate to. I've really enjoyed what I've seen so far, I hasten to add. I do really enjoy it. It is really funny in places. And it's a good premise for a story, and how all her friends react to this older man coming out with them and what that's really like. But it just doesn't feel very credible or very believable, mainly because it just doesn't seem to be this real chemistry. What did you think, Ian?
Well, Nicola Walker, goodness me. I mean, she's a brilliant straight actor, but she's also extremely gifted at comedy. God, it's just not fair, is it? So, I love watching her, and I love Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords. He's hilarious. So it's got a lot going for it. However, as you say, the central premise, don't sleep with your best mate's child. That's a deal breaker. So, and then of course once it's happened, okay, I guess it could conceivably happen as a drunken mistake, which it does, but then the two of them want to carry on seeing each other. So yeah, it feels kind of inappropriate, really, but I guess that's the whole point, but the way that that Nicola Walker's character reacts to it is, it's kind of I don't know. It didn't really ring true for me. However, I really enjoy watching those two, and it is funny. It's got some good stuff in it. He's a hairdresser, and however, a question. We have quite a lot of TV series in which a man and a woman are best mates. Does that happen much in real life, in your experience?
Well, I definitely do, but I don't know that my best mates that are men are gay, as opposed to...
Well, yeah, I mean, straight man and a
straight man and a woman, I think is really, really unusual. I've got to be honest with you. Lots of my best mates are gay.
Only in TV land, like so many things. Right, we're going to move on to BBC iPlayer for a new documentary series called Brexit, a very British civil war. And here's a clip.
10 years on, this is the story of the EU referendum, told by those inside the campaigns.
They were putting pressure on me to do joint events with Cameron. I said, no, it's not going to convince anybody other than we both look desperate.
It was very difficult because I was a campaigner, but I was also the Prime Minister.
I said this is not Project Fear, this is Project Apocalypse. This is something that is far graver than just worrying people about leaving the European Union.
Well, to quote Evita, Hannah, oh, what a circus.
Not a very fun one, though, eh?
I mean, if you think a two-parter about Brexit is going to be not your cup of tea, think again, because this is just absolutely gripping. I mean, it's also really depressing, and it'll make you really angry. But it's got all the key players being interviewed: Cameron, Johnson, Govey, Gordon Brown. And it's just what a terrible tale from start to Farage, of course, from start to finish. This referendum, which only a section of the Tory party wanted, no one else did, and then David Cameron unexpectedly found himself having then to deliver it, and then just the lies that were told to the public. And of course, Boris Johnson, I mean, he used to be employed by the Telegraph to make up stories slagging off the EU, literally just making things up. And then he, of course, famously went from, obviously as a Tory, he was supposedly backing Cameron's Remain position, and he just swapped over to Leave. You've got Dominic Cummings. Oh my God. I mean, he didn't give an interview for this, interestingly. The guy who famously drove to Barnard Castle to test his eyesight during lockdown. Jesus Christ. So yeah, he was very much the architect of the Leave campaign. Well, there were kind of two Leave campaigns. There's Farage's, and then there was another one as well, which Cummings was in charge of. But he's just so obnoxious and shouty and rude that they tried to fire him, but it backfired, so to speak. So Johnson's sister is in it. She's very amusing. Boris is doing his usual clown act, which has become rather tired now. He used to charm people, but now it's just, oh God, so depressing. It's absolutely gripping political documentary series, which we don't say very often. It's a really, really good watch. Can you believe it's 10 years? Oh my God. And we're still reaping all the benefits. So, yeah, whichever side you come down on, it's a great watch. What did you think, Hannah?
Yeah, I mean, it is a great watch, isn't it? It's not something for the faint-hearted, really. As you say, whatever side you come down on, it's I mean, it's laughable in places, isn't it? And that's the only way you can look at it now. As you say, 10 years on, I remember waking up to the news and I just didn't really believe it. My heart sort of was like, no, this is an April Fool. That's got to be right. Anyway, here we are with sewerage in our waters. Anyway, I digress. It is a good view. And as you say, the political big hitters are in there. And apart from Dominic Cummings, not such a political big hitter, but somebody who's left an imprint on most of our memories. But they are interviewed, and I think that is really interesting. And I think it just shows up once again, the kind of want for political gain, the gravy train, everything that everybody wants to get onto, rather than the matter in hand, which may or may not have been, a wise choice for people. And also, perhaps, the reasons for people voting, were the lies that, the things that they thought they were voting for, not really seeing the bigger picture. So I think it is really, really interesting. And there'll be lots of people, I'd imagine, possibly changing their views, but also making them question, because there's probably still a large amount of ignorance around this area.
Well, the good news is we're all better off. The British economy is better.
Booming.
The NHS has got loads more money, and immigration is no longer a problem. So,
I'm pleased those buses were right. I'm pleased.
Happy days. No more politics on this podcast. Well, we're going to finish with something that's will make you feel a lot better, or will it? Having said that, it is the return, season 5 of Sweet Magnolias, the drama on Netflix, and here is a clip.
This could very well be the something blue I need to complete my wedding ensemble.
You don't even have your dress yet. She's got the man. Everything else is the details.
I waited a long time. Could the dream be in my grasp? Is something gonna go wrong?
Yeah, there's season 5, Ian. I can't believe it, actually. I had to do a bit of a quick flick through to see where we were at. This has got 10 episodes. This is pretty feel good in lots of ways. It's that lovely kind of American drama with the lovely music that you get swept along with. You kind of it's a bit of escapism, I would say, something like this. And I'm not sure it is entirely relatable. A bit like you asked me how many sort of men and women were actually friends and nothing more, no strings attached. This sort of feels like an ideal, 3 lifelong best friends living their best lives, but with dramas, interspersing their very perfect or not so perfect dramatic lives at times. And so we left the last season with one of them getting engaged. Also, the biggest news was that that Maddie was accepting this big publishing job in New York City, and she was. This is where the credibility doesn't necessarily come in, because she left behind her husband Cal and her children, of course, as you do, but also her beloved besties. But there's still kind of focuses around those friends, and them, still going to see her, still making sure that they keep their friendship alive, and also dealing with all the relationship and the fallouts with that. One of them's getting married. Will they get their happy ever after? And there are there's threats to derail that marriage, but it's still, can she get? Will it happen? Will she finally have a happily ever after? And it's pretty feel good. It's got ups and downs. It's something you can watch and do the cooking. Don't worry. It doesn't need to, not like Brexit. You need to sit there and watch it and cry into your tissues. This is a slightly different vibe. It's got some funny bits. It's got some sad bits. It's got some highs. It's got some lows. It's here for a 5th season. There's a reason for that. People like it. What did you think, Ian?
Well, I've never watched it before, and I'm never going to watch it again. So yeah, as you said, I didn't know anything about it whatsoever. As we rejoin, yes, as you say, the friends are together in the Big Apple. Yeah, going for nice meals and sipping their cocktails and going shopping. And I think it's one of the most saccharine things I've ever seen. But they spend quite a lot of money on it. I mean, for instance, while they're schlepping around New York, there's a scene in Grand Central Station. Fantastic. So yeah, it's very kind of there's a lot of exposition, which I found useful, because I needed to kind of be told exactly why everyone was doing what they were, and how important these friendships were, and what everyone was into, what all their hobbies and passions were. I guess I would say, obviously it's not aimed at me at all, but if you want to watch something that just makes you feel good, and that maybe everything will be okay, this will do the job. Well, we've got to that time, young Hannah Maladio, where we find out what the hell you've been binge watching.
Well, I caught up on the Britain's Got Talent final. Is that a thing now? It's quite a big
thing. Is that still going? Britain's Got Talent?
It's still going.
Oh, great.
And
great news.
I haven't been quite as into it this series, but I did watch it. And of course, the farming choir one. Jeremy Clarkson was down there at the final too. That was all a bit of fun. That was really nice. Put a bit of a spotlight on farming, which is good. I also watched Have I Got News for You the other night. I don't know if it must have been a repeat, actually. It had Mel Gilroy, or perhaps it wasn't. It was a recent one, which I do like a bit of Mel Gilroy. She's ever so funny. And of course, as I always do, I've been watching the latest Gogglebox. How about you, Ian?
With Julian Clary.
Yeah.
Yeah, fabulous. Well, a new second series of Tina Fey's comedy 4 Seasons about this these couples who have been friends for donkey's years. It's got people like Steve Carell in it, and Tina Fey, of course, is in it. So I went back to the beginning of series 1, and it is so good. It's actually based on a film that Alan Alda was in, who was famously in MASH all those years ago, and he actually appears in this. But Tina Fey is just, I think, a comedy genius at, writing and performing. She's amazing, and it's very, very it really is funny. It's superb. So yeah, I would say check that out. Well, we've just got time to look ahead to next week's offering. So what is on the binge watch menu, Hannah?
Well, I can tell you that Colin Farrell return as Private Detective Sugar on Apple TV.
And the latest thriller off the Harlan Coben production line, I Will Find You, lands on Netflix. So we look forward to those and much, much more. But in the meantime, dear listeners,
keep watching.